Hello everyone. Thanks for joining the stream. Just going to shout out to Ben Noble. Thank you very much for the follow. Smeeg126, thank you. Benny OCB, thank you. Fakey NZ, thank you. Thanks so much. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll be going over some of the code that I worked on yesterday. But we've done some tests and we've kind of figured out some of the hash table work that we needed to do to communicate between the run spaces. So we're going to have a look at that right about now. So if you have any questions, as usual, please ask them in the chat. And if you have questions that have a lot of code, you can always join the Discord server. The link is on the Twitch page. And please feel free to explore the other links if you want to follow on Twitter or YouTube. Please check those out as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see where I ended up. So this was a test just to try and get some run spaces going here and make sure I could communicate between them. So we'll just do a quick review. I have a bunch of strings here that are just names of panels. This is arbitrary. And then I go through each of those, and then I add to an empty hash table, my panels. I go ahead and create keys for each of these. Create keys for each of those, which contain a hash table that has one key, which is called name, and the value is basically whatever it is here. So that sets up the my panels array with some stuff. We then go ahead and create three hash tables, but synchronized hash tables. Because these are hash tables that we're going to be using to pass data in and out of our run spaces. So I've been doing some tests with this. I think I've got it working, or at least enough that I'm comfortable that data is coming in and out. So let's go ahead. This is based off of Boprox's code. So we'll go ahead and see if we can bring up his page here. Boprox is fantastic, as I said before. All right, I think that's a good one. I think this is another good one. Who's this? This is Chrissy Lemire. Yes, this one's really good as well. If you want a short, simple kind of SQL-based run space example, I think this one is based around SQL, and I've used this one before. I may have used it in rebuilding some of the code here, but it's very similar to Boprox's, but just as functional. So yeah, let's go ahead and just jump back into the code. We'll give it a run. Let's see what happens. Okay, nothing. However, we do have those synchronized hash tables. So let's just see what's going on. rsctrl.values. Okay, so we can see some of the run spaces, and we have one run space for each of the panels. At least two of them have started. So I have a run space for controlling, sorry, I have a hash table for controlling the run spaces, which is the rs control. Zaturik, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. And the rs control hash table is just a hash table that I'm using to control the run spaces. So inside the run spaces, there's a bit of code that checks to see what some of the values are inside the rs control hash table for its specific panel, because we get an entry for each of the panels. So in this case, two of them started, and that's good. All right, let's see if we have any output. So I think rs out was another synchronized hash table with some output. Oh, Yeah, my panel 3 script started. So let's rs out my panel 3 dot output. Let's see what that says. Okay, yeah. All right. However, I did add some extra code. The last thing I did was this section right here. So what this section right here does is it creates variables for me that are tied to the values in the hash tables. So for example, I can do my panel. The name of the variable will be the name I put inside the array at the top here. So my panel. So I have my panel 3. You can see if I hit it, it's there. I can actually go and set in command, which means I want to send the command to the run space. And let's actually just send close. And then let's go back to my panel and see. Oh, it's no longer in the started. Let's see. Yeah, some output changed. And indeed, there is one that's closed now. And a new one started. And it looks like it might have been 5. Yes, 5 started. So let's go ahead and close 6. So I can use the variable that I have my script create for 6. But instead of manually sending in the command with the in command thing, I added, I believe, a method. So I can just do that. And that should have closed it. And if I check again, bang, yes, that's what I'm looking for. So let's have another look at, yeah, and let's see the output of my panel 6 dot outputs. Absolutely fantastic. So clearly we're able to send values into the run spaces. So if we look at the code of the actual run spaces, it's just this section here. So it takes in some parameters, which all these 3 are the run spaces, and the I here is just going through the keys. So it's basically just providing the panel object that's created as part of this command here. So the hash table. And from that hash table, we are then extracting the name of the panel, which is how we're going ahead and creating the run space, kind of how we're going ahead and creating the variables here. So that's kind of cool. So let's see. So 6 was closed, and so was, I think it was, what did we close? 6 and 3. Okay, so 5 and 2 are running. Let's see if there's another way we can close those. So rsctrl. And again, if you guys have any questions or anything, please feel free, post in the Discord. If you know how to use syntax in the Discord, please go ahead and put it. Welcome to the Discord, AlloX. If you know how to use the syntax in Discord, it's pretty easy. It's 3 backticks, and then you type PowerShell, then Shift Enter. You paste your code, Shift Enter, and then another 3 backticks, which is the same key as tilde, I believe, on keyboards, and that'll automatically format your code nicely. So feel free if you have any questions and you want to post code, and if it's a bit longer, just go ahead and join the Discord. We'd love to have you there. So I think it's pretty clear that we have some input and output of the run spaces now, and it looks like to me that it's working. And if we rerun this diagnostic code at the end, checklist, oh, we can see, what was it? It was list select expand already handle, I believe. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's looking good. All right, so now I think the next thing we wanted to do, or at least I wanted to do, was to try and integrate the class of custom form that we had set up I think, yesterday. Let's see, I believe it's here. So this was the custom class. Let's go ahead and try and load it up. So this $PS script root slash oh, thank you so much for the follow, the Color Mill. Really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying it. Don't be shy if you have any questions or anything like that, or like to see anything or clarify anything. If I can do it, I'll help. Let's see. So we have the root. We need to call the panel class here. This is that special class we did. Let's just we got to remember how to do this. So PS script root classes, was it? Yes, classes slash panel dot ps1. Let's see, does this work? No, that doesn't work. Was it ampersand? New. Oh, this, yeah. Okay. I guess there's no PS script root. Let's do a new file. Save. We'll put that in test 3. Set up new panels. Let's just see if we can spawn a few of these. Okay, so let's try. No, it's still not working. So we need to $PS script root, and we need to join dash path, and we need to wrap that in brackets because we want the end result of it. And I think it's dot like that. Let's try that. No. Oh, let's see. Your wish is mine. Thank you so much for the follow. What is the main purpose of this video? So this video is really just me working on some personal projects. Let me see if I can open something up here to give you a little demo on where I'm going with this. I don't know if it'll work, but let's see. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, so I have some windows here, which are kind of working, but the goal here is to build some panels, windows like this, which I'm going to display data on. And that kind of data I'm going to display is going to be data that is output from a flight simulator. So things having to do with like air density, drag, the control of the aircraft, its heading, so all navigation related things. So there's a fair amount of data that I have that's being output. If you'd like to see more about that project in specific, you can actually, let me get rid of these. And so that you can find on GitHub, and it's SR2 logger. So this is a mod for a game called Simple Rockets. Mushahid is, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. So this is a project by WMP78. This is a this is a data logger for a flight simulator, and if you look up Ethereal, I think, no, I think fork. Let's see. So yeah, so this project basically it is a data output for a flight simulator, and inside here in the add-ons for this particular repository, this is a map program built entirely in PowerShell, which interfaces with the mod. The mod outputs the data from the aircraft and allows you to then leverage it. So in this case, that source code creates a map that will show you the exact position and heading or bearing of the aircraft on the equirectangular map of the planet that you're flying on inside the simulator. So that's the main purpose of the work I'm working towards, is creating panels that can kind of dock together and that kind of thing. But I want each panel to run in its own run space, which is why I am dealing with this kind of code where I am sending the code into run spaces, because having each panel in its own run space will just kind of make things run a lot better. So yeah, that's the main purpose of this particular video, is just showing my personal work on that and making myself available if people have any questions. So I hope I answered your question, and Trolley. So we need to test the class. So we need to execute this, and I can't, I think it may be like that. Let's see. No, I can't remember. Maybe like this. Oh, no. Get command. Maybe that. Let's see how I did it in the other scripts. I gotta find the correct launching script. Let's see, where is it? Yes, that was it. I believe that's the way. Okay. Okay. Set up new panels. Let's go to /get slash, go to the add-ons, get to the test directory. There you go. All right, so that's the current. Yes. Okay, so dot and .ips script. Okay, and let's try and join that to classes and then panel. And we shouldn't have to put that. And if we just do that, no, that's not going to work. So we might as well just put the full path. cd cd class cd. Oh no. There. Okay. So. is going on? Oh, yeah, that's right. There we go. All right. So, $sign my panel equal panel new. What are my constructor? It's the panel name. Okay, so let's call it panel my panel one, like I was doing in the other things. And let's try. Okay. But that just creates the object. Let's see my panel. Oh yeah, there's the object. Oh yeah. That's looking pretty good. So let's just clear. That does look good. Okay, so now if I do my panel dot show dialog, there it is. It is messing up with the stream though. The stream does interfere with its behavior for docking. That's gonna be tricky to deal with. Okay, but anyways, I know that the panel works. My panel X. X. Oh, interesting. Okay. Where is this coming from? 123. Oh, I'm not passing a dock control. I shouldn't be. That shouldn't be working. Okay. Dock control. Add load. Add range. Set dock control. I need to copy find. Where am I setting the dock control? Search up. Nowhere. Okay. So I can copy all this out. Oh boy. Alright. That'll be better. And let's try this again and add the show dialog. My panel dot show dialog. Let's try that again. Nope. What's this? Hmm. Hmm. 123. Interesting. 123. This dot text. But what? Okay, so okay. Let's try that again. How does that make sense? So somehow this is still calling the old thing. So I'm going to. I don't need this. That's exactly what I just wrote, pretty much. But so set up new panels and panel in RS test. Yeah, we'll save that. Okay. So somehow panel this. How can I? Okay. Equals. I need to crush. So if it's a question of crushing, then a new window will fix that. Let's see. Let's go and open up those files. Let's get panel, no, classes panel, and open. Let's go and get what set up new panels, which was in test 3. Okay. So if I run this now, why? How is that possible? Ah, okay, it's a different error. That's okay. Ah, I see. Okay, so it is still calling that. So that is at 104. Okay, that'll be fixed. There it is. Okay. So I don't know if I can fix that just by doing that. I don't know. It's weird. It kind of... Okay. It's weird. Definitely acts weird with with streaming. But okay, that clears the errors. So now the class is without... Now the class is without without any of the connectivity. So none of that bit is in there. That's good. I can load the class like this. Yeah, that's okay. And then this is just how I would instantiate it. Okay, so let me try adding this to my R. Okay, so now inside the run space, what I want to do is I want to... Okay, so inside the run space, I want to try and load that file. So let me just try and load that file. Actually, here I set, okay, the script started in the run space, and then it said stats started. Okay, and then it does its main loop. Okay, well, it just sets random data. That's fine. This is where I'm gonna instantiate my class, or sorry, just call the class. I guess I can $null equal, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, and then I can try doing $test panel equal and make a new instance of my custom class. New test panel. Let's just try doing that. and see if that works. Okay, so save. All right. Okay. And then rs control.values. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so things are looking normal, but we don't know if we got any errors necessarily from these. So let's see. $sign dot status. I don't even need to worry about that. I'll just do a new one, try. So I'll put a try catch here to just see if I am getting any errors. And if I am getting errors, I will send some output to the synchronized hash table. So the out rs output will go. Let's just have a look here. All right, yeah. So again, if anyone has any questions, please don't be shy. And click the follow button if you ever want to have a resource to come ask some PowerShell questions or see some PowerShell stuff going on. As I explained earlier, in case you missed it, this is going to be to integrate with a game called Simple Rockets 2, which is a flight simulator. It's available on Steam. It's available for mobile as well on iOS and Android, but it allows you to build any type of craft you could imagine, any type of spacecraft or boat or plane, that form of thing, car. It's quite versatile. It's almost all procedurally done, so it's quite interesting to see what you can do with it. So in this case, I'm writing some code for that. So right now we have the output synchronized hash table that we are going to leverage to send something saying that error while instantiating custom panel. Then we'll add a new line. Okay, so just do that and we'll save it and then we'll run it. And now we need to see. Okay, runspace control. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, AG Bork. I hope the stream is in your flavor. So we have the runspace, the RS control synchronized hash. That's not the one we're looking for. We're looking for RS out. Yes, and we want to see. Okay, so let's see. Dot keys. For each, sorry, keys, and then for each, we need to $rs out dot $_ dot name, I think. Yeah, let's just try that. No. Output. Yes. Okay. Okay, so this yeah, so we didn't get any errors. So it seems like it's instantiating this all right. So let's try and show it. Let's see if we can get it to show the panels 6 times. That'll be interesting. Let's see if this works. Actually, no, it'll show it 2 times. Oh, yes, perfect. All right. So now if I close one of these, because this run space pool here is set up to have only 2 run spaces active at a time. So even though I submit 6 panels, it's only got 2 running right now. So if we look at rs control.values, you can see that only 2 are started. Now, if I take one of these windows and I close it, another one should pop up, or maybe not. Let's see. Ah, okay, so I closed the window and it didn't, and okay. Okay, so we maybe have an error now. Let's see. Okay, so let's see, my panel 6. Okay, no error there. Could it be 3? No error there. Okay, so we closed it. Okay, is there something on the close event on this that's weird? Add move, add, no. There's nothing on close. No, there's nothing on close. So why would it still be running? Oh, that's right. Okay, that's because it's doing its other code. Okay, all right. So if we take off this other code, okay. And then this, all this stuff, all this stuff is kind of useless now. So we'll just comment this stuff out for now. And so yeah, now it should behave like we expect it to. So I'm just gonna restart this. So now, if I close this, it should start a new one. Yes. Another one. Okay, and one more it'll create. And this will be the last one. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so that's working. It's able to spin off my test panels. But the problem is, I think this test panel bit, the show dialog locks the thread, or locks, so to speak. I mean, it sits there until the form is closed. So let's see if I can add on to let's see if I can add on to the instance of the class. Let's see if I can add on to the instance of the class at the script level here inside the run space. So $test panel, add move. And what do I want to do when I move it? I don't need to do any of the update stuff. I want to, in this case, set the docking. Let's see if I can set the docking dot Okay, I forgot to do some stuff here. So let's get back to this. So for each my panels, that's gonna, for each, I need to spin up my run space. This needs to come out of here, and I need to pipe in the correct name, which will be it will be i.name, temp panel we'll call it. And then, so temp panel on move, the move will be the sender, which will be the form, I believe. But I think ER, so E, I think E is, I think E dot location dot X is the position of the move, and Y, $sign Y, that's not, what am I doing? Location dot Y. So we want to set the docking run space. So the docking run space is that rs dock. Sorry, the hash table for docking is rs dock. We need to set it there and there. And in this case, it will be dot $sign dot name dot, what's the structure? Left will be X. Left equal. And then the same thing will be, I think that's top. We'll put that. Let's have a go. Let's top. And is that it? Yeah, it's top. Alright, so we'll have top there. What am I gonna? Yeah, I have VS Code. It's just for this particular case, it's a little smoother for what I'm doing at the moment. But I do have my VS Code open. It's right here, leveraging a lot of the same scripts. I'm just not using it right this second. This for the moment I'm just using. So we have that. Okay. Now we're trying to set top on that. Yes, and that's temp panel. Okay. All right, so now we're adding some code to the move event, which hopefully will be able to access the RS doc, which in this case is going to be CTRL doc. Now, I think I might have to play with references here. I think I might have to. But we'll try without. Let's see. Okay. So now, rs doc dot values. Oh. Okay, I have two windows, and in this case, okay. So I think I might have that close to right. Let's see. Let's try that again. All right. All right. Thank you. Let's see. Let's just do that. And let's have a look again. Ah! Okay, so sender, let's try sender. Okay, but clearly we're writing the value because it's no longer 0. So we're affecting the externally, so we're affecting the object that's available in our console, which is good. We just need to find the right bit. I think it's sender.location.x, I believe. Sender.location.y. Let's try this. So I gotta close this. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, let's move that. Yes, sir. All right. Okay. That's fantastic. Okay. So okay. So two left 2260 and top is 328. So there's this panel. If I move this one to there, let's check the values again. Isn't that fantastic? With no with no timers or anything. Oh, guys, that is a great success right there. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, all right. Now, I have some weird issues with, I don't know what, Discord or something. It, you know, I bet. Yeah, that's what it is. There's like some weird. Yeah, it won't let me. That's interesting. It's just because of my streaming. So that's fantastic. Okay. Yes. Doesn't make sense that it's going into negatives. I'll have to see if I can figure out a way to offset things because of the streaming. But in any event, that is really fantastic. That means that I'm able to get the positional info out for each of the windows now when they move. And the key to doing that was to adding to the move event on the instance itself, because at that scope we have access to the synchronized run spaces as parameters to the script, which is fed to the run space. So that was fantastic. So I really just need to just go through and finish the rest of this stuff. So yep, very happy with that. So oof, so I'll let, that's something else. JMC, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Top X mid and bottom X mid. Okay, so top is done. Gotta do bottom. So bottom is going to be the sender height in pixels plus, or its start location, y, and that will be the bottom. So bottom equal, and there. That should work perfectly. So bottom's done. Same kind of thing for the right. Let's try and copy that. So right, what would right be? Right would be the starting point of X plus the width. There we go. What's the left Y midpoint? So that would be the left would, so that would be the half of the height. So $sender dot height divided by 2. So half of the height from the sender Y position dot location dot Y plus. So done. All right. So right midpoint, I imagine is going to be right. Okay. Right. So right now I'm putting in basically just references to the edges of the windows to allow me to put code together to allow those panels to snap together. That's my goal, is to try right now in this particular case, is just to try and create some structure to allow me to write code to allow them to snap together. So that's what I am going for at the moment. So right Y mid will be, the right side of the Y will be this X starting point plus the width. Is that right? Wait a second. Left Y mid. It's gonna be location of height. So right Y mid, left Y mid is gonna be, oh, that doesn't matter. I don't need the right mid. And I don't need the bottom mid as well. That's silly. Okay. So top mid is going to be, so top X mid is going to be sender location X plus sender width divided by 2. Okay, that's it. Okay. Now, let's see. Beautiful. So if I do this, looking good. So left. Those parameters are definitely getting mixed up because of the streaming. So I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. But we're getting all those values in there right now, which is, if I check this now, yes, bingo. Okay, that's fantastic. All right, so we can use this as a little template. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. So I think we don't need this. We don't need this. Okay, so we can try going with code now. Minimize that. Okay. We need to go to test 3, open this, and classes panel. And, okay. We can now split. There we go. So let's try this. No. See, that's kind of why I don't use PS Code per se, because it seems to act a bit weird with the terminal down below. But if I highlight it and I think I run it like that, still, no, still, yeah, that's why I don't sometimes use VS Code. It does give me some issues. Let's see. Let's make sure. Yeah, that is working. All right. Just checking in with everyone. Does anyone have any PowerShell questions or any challenges that you've encountered and would like some help on? Feel free to ask. It would be a pleasure to help if I can. And if you like what you're seeing, don't forget hit the follow button. I'd appreciate it a lot. Thank you for watching. So, yeah, so that's working. Now, let's see if we can throw in something else into the mix. So, we have this. we have this, we need to control F rs control rs control, and in this case rsctrl is going to be the name. Okay, we need to set up the receiver run space. So set up receiver run space. So now we're getting into the simple rockets kind of component of things. Let's see if we can get it fired up here. So the receiver, which is this code right here, is essentially PowerShell script which will use UDP to read data off of a port, which is receiving data from a mod to the Simple Rockets 2 game. And that mod is called SR2 Logger. So we'll just go inside here. We'll undo the flight. And let's just go ahead and we will just looking for the correct files here. We will get this set up. Let us go. Okay, so this is just some plain and simple rockets someone made. I think it might be part of the default install. And there's this additional part on here. And this part is the orange black box. And it has some simple code in it. In this case, just sending some navigation data to the out of the logger to the receiving UDP port. So we have that, and just by virtue of having that and getting it to be there, then we should be able to activate it. And this we should be able to run if I comment this out, it should run. So I will start the, oh, it started, but I will try. No. Let's try that. Ah, yes, I do need to feed it a craft. Okay, so so we need to feed it the craft class, which is another class I have. Let's go ahead and get that class. All right, where's that class? Spacecraft. Okay, so we need to create a new spacecraft, and we did that in map how. We did that spacecraft. We simply did it like this. So close that. So set up the receiver run space. So before we can do that, we got to set up a craft, and the craft is going to be Thank you so much for the follow, Corbob. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying it. Um, so I'm instantiating a craft now from the class inside this thing, which is built to contain data coming from the logger. So the path to this is console classes. Okay, so it's the same as this. Craft. Let's see if this works. Ooh, no. Okay. Now, what's craft though? So that's no good. So that means I need to... Oh, right. Space craft. Okay, so I need to... I think it's get dash command. Is it something like that? $sign craft dot no. So spacecraft. Oh, I did it. Oh, wait a second. Ah, okay, that's why. Okay, so that means I have to do it like the other way, just like this. I have to basically send that to whatever null just to get it in, and then I'll have to instantiate it. So $sign craft equal spacecraft new. What's the constructor? Nothing. Okay. Okay. So craft equals spacecraft new. That means this is garbage. So this should work. Yes, perfect. Okay, there we go. That is golden. I can get rid of this. We have the craft object ready for the receiver run space. So now we need to set up a run space specifically for the receiver, which is going to handle the communications. So here you go. So Powershell create, that's good. Let's say RS receiver. Okay. RS receiver run space is going to be the same as the other one. We're going to take off the restrictions. Or actually we could, I suppose, submit it first, and that'll be okay. But let's just take that off. 7. Okay, so run space pool is, that's good. Okay, so not so sure about the params, so leave that as is. And we know that the add script ends right there. We're missing the listing here, but I don't know if we're gonna need it. So we'll leave it out, and I know it's not declared further up. So we add a script, then we add arguments. Now, the receiver script has arguments, and the params are, the parameters are, let's see, there they are. So we need to pass it the craft object, because it's going to take care of updating the craft object. So craft is going to be first. Then the rs control. So the rs control in our case is rsctrl. So that's good. And then a time to run. Say 30 seconds. I do the time to run just to make sure the receiver kind of terminates gracefully. In the time that just that it can shut down properly, because I've noticed that sometimes when you had like listeners open and you didn't shut down properly, it would act weird. So yeah, so there you go. I'm calling that. So there you go. Okay. So there you go. I suppose we could just flat put this inside the other bit. Okay, so okay. Outputs. Okay. So yeah, so what am I gonna do about that? So we're gonna have to do $out rs dot add. The key name will be receiver. You know what? We're gonna have to just ignore rs control. Rs control. Oh, and I'm gonna have to fix that. Rs control and rs control. You know what? We're gonna have to just take off the rs stuff right now and just let, well, true and There you go. So it'll just run for the runtime, basically, and no run space control right now because we're gonna have to rewrite that. Okay, so that looks all right. Oh, okay, is that an actual PowerShell terminal lore, right, or is that just an overly you did to make it look like PowerShell? I'm guessing the latter since it has Twitch emotes, but if it's actual PowerShell, it is very interesting. I would love to see how it works. Actually, no, it literally is just an overlay. Um, but I suppose it wouldn't be difficult to write. Thank you so much for the follow because yeah, so no, I don't imagine it would be difficult to write something that could access the Twitch API and check chat uh, and output it to a PowerShell terminal like that. Even better would probably be to use Windows Terminal. Um, yeah, I gotta fix that. Let's just fix something here. Uh, oh yeah. Okay, so even better would probably be to use the new Windows Terminal application because I think this has richer text support and it has, I think, a higher frame rate and that kind of stuff. So if you haven't gotten this yet off the Windows 10 store, I highly suggest it. It's really cool. I think it's really nifty. It does work really well, and you can have all kinds of different stuff in here. If you have Windows subsystem Linux, then you can also have access to the bash shells through this as well. So it's pretty nifty. No, it probably wouldn't do Twitch emotes, but if it can do emojis, then it has some graphical capabilities. So I would be interested to see if under the hood there would be a way to maybe sneak some non-standard emojis in there. I think that would be a pretty interesting thing to try in the future. But I do intend to have all the alerts and the chat and everything like that on this channel to be done entirely in PowerShell eventually. So that's something, those are long-term to-dos, but I think it'll be fun for the channel to see, and it would be cool that it's a fully PowerShell channel. I think that would be pretty nifty. If you were to match a font with Twitch emotes, it might work. That'd be a smart way an easy way to do it if you could get the fonts to work. All right, so we've thrown in our receiver code into a kind of standalone run space here. We've thrown in some arguments to try and satisfy it. We will try. So RS control. We need to add So we need to add a receiver entry into the RS control synchronized hash table so we can send some commands to it. And we need to do the same for all of them. Except for doc. We don't need to do doc because it does not have a panel. out. And what's the structure of out? Just output. Okay, so we have our output there. Receiver. Okay, so in this case, out dot rs control dot receiver. Error while what? Error while running the receiver. I think that'll have to suffice. The receiver. Okay. Let's try and clean this stuff up now. Okay, so we're getting our code just formatted. All right. Okay. So we have the kind of run space more or less set up, but we haven't sent it at that point. We still have some stuff to do before it's sent, and that's because we have to list add invoke this list here. Yes, list is here. PRS receiver. There you go. And so what is the ID? I don't know, but let's see if we can live without it. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I think that worked. Let's just look. I'm confused now. What's the name of my run spaces in here? Yeah, rsdoc. So let's see if they have values. Yes! All right. Okay. 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 Now, yeah. So $craft dot state. Let's see if we have any values. Ah, okay. So we didn't have any values there. And that's because we created the craft object, I believe. That's right. We created the craft object. However, We did not set it up properly. So let's go ahead and close these suckers. And what we can do is now we can take this code, which will set up the two different properties or attributes, state and history, on the spacecraft object, or the craft object I have. We have right there. And we need to just flag those specific things as synchronized. And I just think that could be the last underlying piece. Let's just have a see right here. Let's, okay. Oh, that doesn't matter because we put the receiver directly in here. That's right. So we can close this. No. Okay. Zoom in the text. Oh yeah, sure. I'm so sorry about that. PowerShell, Michael. Sorry about that. Is that a little better? Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Okay. So here's the receiver code. Now I think the problem was that we didn't synchronize the hash tables that constitute the craft state. Let me just check here. Okay. Welcome to the Discord ones. All right, so I suppose we can try this again. Let's just clear buffer, and we shall try this again, I think. Yeah. We really need to close those run spaces. So let's try dot actually yeah, let's see. Okay, we will actually go up here. We'll change this max threads thing to something we won't hit because I'm not sure we're hitting it. So rs control dot keys. Okay. For each key, we want to see a string, which is going to be the key space the status, which is going to be rsctrl dot status. Yeah, it'll be status. And then I think that'll, yeah. Okay, so the receiver is not started. So why is the receiver not started? So add script. Okay, so yeah. I think we just have to begin invoke. We can just add this here. And I think we can ignore this bit. We'll just exclude it from the list. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay. So is completed. Okay, so that's good because that okay, so this is completed false. This is telling us that our what? Oh, wait a second. I think I know. So under panel, I have sorry, under the run space for the panels, I think I have something. Yes, I have this, which I do not have, or do I have RS control for the receiver? I do. Okay, so that means I have to add the same kind of thing just to flag it as, uh, yeah. So I will copy these for the receiver side. So try. So the run space pool should dispose the run spaces for you. You should only need to dispose of the run spaces pool. By the way, thank you so much, Michael. I'm still figuring this out. So yeah, I think and I think because I'm recreating the variable, that's triggering a dispose. So for the most part, I'm good. The only tricky part is with the receiver is that it binds to a UDP port to listen on. So I have to be a bit careful with how I control that one. So it's very possible that it is running. I could definitely verify that with another command, but I'm just going to actually put in my own kind of little output here. So I think I called it receiver, and same thing here. Thank you so much for the follows, Overkin. I appreciate it. It's I hope you're enjoying the stream. Receiver here as well. What's the objective here? Okay, so the objective here, Michael, is so on the right here, you can see there's a plane, and on the plane there is a black box, and this black box is running, and this black box is dumping data to a local, basically using the loopback network to dump data about the particular flight at the moment, real time, so it can be picked up with another program. So the code that you see here, sorry, I'm trying not to zoom out too much, but this place right here is just a one-off run space that I'm generating, which contains the code to loop through reading on the UDP ports for the data that's being sent from this black box inside the game. Okay. Now, right now, I just have nav data, that kind of stuff. It doesn't really matter the data. What I'm trying to build is, as you can see, all these panels. I'm trying to build dynamic panels that can be generated dynamically outside of the game based upon the code that you would enter inside the game on the orange black box. So you could kind of, in a way, generate your own external diagnostics windows of a flight from within the game to a large part. So, and each panel runs in its own run space. And the craft object, which we instantiated earlier, which is based off this class here, the craft object right up here, uh, the receiver receives that as a parameter, and it actually goes through and updates all the properties that it's receiving on that craft object. So we just fixed something to do with that, which was not synchronizing the hash tables. We just fixed that. And it is running. So I'm just going to go ahead and just close these windows. In theory, we should have some data now inside the craft state. And we don't. That's unfortunate. Let's see what's going on here. Da, 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 da. Oh, actually, let's see if we have any errors. So $rs out dot values. Okay. Ah, forgot to fix that. Okay, so I don't even need to put those codes. Okay, let's try that again. Let's. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so it's. Oh, because I'm not passing those run spaces. Sorry, those hash tables. Of course I'm not. Okay, so yeah, so I need to pass those. That's why. Silly me. Okay. So control. I already have the control. I don't need the doc. So this is rs control, and we need to add a param. I want to add it right here. Out rs. Okay, and that means we need to add it down here. Oops. And this is going to be the output hash, which is rs out. Oh yeah, rs out. And that should let things work. So let's close these. Let's try that again. Okay. Now if we check our rs out, there we go. Now we got some output from the receiver. All right, so we know the receiver is actually starting. Okay. And it's so I will add something here to receiver.output equal receiver terminated normally. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Do if while. Okay, so let's see the craft dot state. Let's see what's going on here in the craft state. No, damn. Okay, so we're gonna have to. So craft. Do I have to be craft.key state? I have to be passing the craft state. So I believe that will fix the craft data. Let's try that. Save. Okay. Come on, give me some data. Okay, what data do I have in here anyways? Let's have a quick look. Thanks for watching, guys. if you like what you're seeing, please follow the channel. You'll be notified if I stream again, obviously. And yeah, so let's just have a look and see what is actually going on in this black box. Okay. It's nav position. And heading. Okay. So let's add some output here. We're gonna add some output. Bytes available to be read. Reading. Okay. Okay. But let's just double check that we're still, oh yeah, we're still getting all this stuff too, which is good. All right. All right, just checking in again, see if anyone has any questions or would like to explore a different subject of PowerShell briefly. I'm totally open to trying different stuff out if anyone has anything they'd like to see. All right. So let's see what's going on. rs out dot receiver dot output. Ah, there we go. So there is an error that's going on. So we know that all of this should be fine. Omnipotagy, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. You could plug that data into autopilot and the absolutely, Michael, that that would definitely be where I'm heading now. If you're a Python user, there's already a Python receiver. So if we go to github.com and we go to here, you can see that there's actually on the mod itself there's a receiver in Python available. Let me make this bigger. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a simple receiver, and you can use that to get the data and do something else with it. So at the moment, the mod only outputs data, but I do speak with the developer of the mod, and they are open to potentially including input operations, not just output operations, like a logging system. So definitely check it out. SR2 Logger is the name of the mod. Simple Rockets 2 is the name of the game. Definitely worth it. You can do some pretty nifty stuff in here. Yeah. Okay, I can show people more of that if people are interested. Does he have a GitHub? Yes, he does. So his GitHub, oh, I think I had it on the screen. It there you go. WNP78. That's his GitHub. Yeah, Muffin Paradox, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day. B Wood 42, I appreciate the follow. I hope you're enjoying yourself. If you have any PowerShell questions, please. We're moving more into the second half of the stream, so I'd definitely like to answer any questions or problems if anyone is having any. Feel free to join the Discord if you'd like. If you want to post some code to look at there, the Discord link is on the Twitch page. You should also see links to YouTube as well as, I believe, Twitter on there as well. So I hope everyone's having a great day. We're going to keep going for a bit more. Oh, thanks for joining the Discord, B Wood. And we will now. Okay. So I am going to change the program now. I'm going to change the program to something I've made previously, which is something that outputs all of the data. So I'm going to load this. And this is the programming language in this particular game. It's kind of like a drag drop, blocky kind of thing. It's really fantastic. You have all kinds of stuff for your ship, so you can get the throttle input and set all this different stuff, and you could actually make an autopilot within this game as well. So I'm trying something to get computers from Active Directory with some attributes, and then test connection everything and export to CSV. All right. Well, what do you need help with in there, Luca? What's giving you trouble with that specifically? Like what bit are you having trouble with? Okay, so save to craft. Computers attribute results. All right, you're a results-oriented person, so it seems. So for Active Directory, what are the attributes that you're trying to get? All right. Let's see. Okay, I gotta rerun that. Let's retry that. Okay. Okay, that's good. So, $ craft. Yeah, so Luca or Lucas, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. But what attributes of the computers are you trying to get? I can help you with this, but be a little more specific of what you're trying to find. What attributes? So craft.state. That's no good. Okay. Okay. So if you'd like, Lucas, you can go to the Discord. Yeah, Luca, in the Discord, you can join the PowerShell help channel. You should have access to it. And if you'd like, you can post code in there, and we can even review the code on the stream if you'd like. So you're welcome, Lucas MD. Okay, yeah. So go ahead, join the Discord, post your code inside the help channel, and we can actually look through it on the stream. I don't have any Active Directory. Actually, I do have an Active Directory set up, so I may be able to actually show you what you could do as well. I don't think I have the RSAT tools installed, but I know Active Directory fairly well, so I should be able to help you. So it doesn't look like our craft object is getting updated. DNS hostname, IP, enabled. Okay, and then You want that exported to results. Okay. So in the case of let me see if I can. No, I have no means to get to any Active Directory, but essentially this is what you're going to be doing. So $computer equal get dash ad computer dash filter. So are you trying to do this for one computer or a lot of computers? Okay. Results would be the results of test connection. Well, okay. So what you should be doing in your case is you're trying to do something on a bunch of servers. Servers are going to be your pretty much your unit, the unit of what you're doing. So what I would suggest you do is you do my server equal ps custom object, and then you can say DNS hostname equal. Okay, so you're trying to get all servers out of Active Directory. Yeah, that's good. So, so you probably have something like get ad computer uh, all servers equal get ad computer dash filter operating system like server. And then you are probably also putting, I think DNS hostname is part of the default properties. Yeah, so you definitely want to make a custom object, just like Bwood is mentioning. If you make a custom object, you can kind of throw in the data at the various stages. Then you can, create, is reachable, let's say, equal $false. And then you can create a collection, all servers equal. And then, sorry, all server objects. You could probably select some of the properties out of the return from AD. So you wanted DNS hostname. I believe DNS hostname is part of the default property bag that's returned, but otherwise you could just add it. There's no harm in adding it. That'll still work. Now IP, I'm not sure I would take the IP out of Active Directory. That's not the way I would go about it. Enabled is sure there. You could definitely go and check out enabled. But yeah, so yeah, for IP, what I would do is I would actually do there's a .NET method that works really well. I think it's get IP from host.net. DNS, yes. I think it's this. Yes. So let's see. Let me close these. Okay, so let's see if we can get a DNS. So system.net .net what is it? DNS get host addresses, and then you would feed it a host name. So let's say google.com. Let's see what that does. There you go. So that will get you your IP addresses. So you could then you could do that .IP address to string. Yeah. Okay. So IPv4 address is attribute in this case. IPv4 address. Yeah. Yeah, I know AD stores this attribute as well. And if you have your DNS AD integrated, then it doesn't really matter. All of this is moot. But when it comes to IP addresses, uh, in your case, you're getting your server list from Active Directory, which in this case, that's fine. Just that's your source list. But in cases of companies where you might have Windows servers, or sorry, not Windows, well, Windows servers which are, let's say, not domain joined, or in alternate domains with no trusts, or at least not a trust in the proper direction, uh, Linux servers, that kind of stuff. So, you know, I would typically try to rely on the service that's specific for the data. So if you're trying to get an IP address, then I personally would lean towards doing a proper DNS query within whatever infrastructure, be it public or private. That can be complicated. Sometimes ADDNS are not accurate. And if you believe my server admin, it's because the computer was shut down incorrectly. Okay. But with your command, we could get it from any hostname by resolving it. Yeah, I mean, this just like anything, there's so many different ways you could do it. So in this case, we get the IP address. So you can use this code to get an IP address. IP equal, let's say this. So all servers filter this and that. Okay, so perfect. And then for all servers, for each, we're going to make a temp server object. So DNS hostname is going to be $. It's going to be like $__dns hostname. I guess you're good with that. Is reachable. You don't know yet. You could do $is reachable. Well, you need to get the IP first, right? So let's get the IP first. And if we get the IP, we can then is reachable equal test dash. Well, we should maybe do things properly. $TM, $TMP, IP equal $null. And then $TMP IP equal. And there we go. $TMP IP. Okay, is reachable test dash net connection. Now, what kind of connection? You just want to see if they were pingable, I guess. That's probably what you're looking for. So in this case, we'll just test net connection on the IP, which we would only have if DNS is working. So test dash net connection if. So if test net connection tick 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 $true. Else, come on now. Else $false. So there you go. So okay. So my circle this. Okay, and then we will throw. Okay, so you wanted. Let's see that again. Trying to get some attributes. You wanted the name, whatever, IP. If it's enabled, all right, is so enabled. Now, if I recall, the enabled attribute on a computer object, computer object attributes active directory. I think the enabled attribute is a Boolean. Yeah. It is there by default. I'm talking about the type. Yeah, it's a Boolean. I think it's like a true false kind of thing. So enabled is $it. I think I can just actually, I don't think I need to do anything special to reference it. I think that is going to be sufficient. And that pretty much covers the attributes. So, okay, so we're building a custom object. Now we'll just throw the custom object into the collection array, $my server, and we'll put this, oh, I gotta fix a typo there. Two typos. There you go. All right. DNS hostname, it is there already. It's the first one. Well, yeah, so in this case, you would basically just be plugging in $.DNS hostname. Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, it's not a very complicated script. The only thing that will follow is basically just $all server objects export -csv somewhere.csv, something like that. That's pretty much all you're missing at this point. So I hope that helps. Maybe grab a few screenshots or clip it in Twitch. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need. I'm just going to take a little 2-minute break. We'll be back. I'll be available to answer some questions if you have any more questions or would like some help with some other stuff. So stick around. I'll probably do another half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. I really appreciate all of you tuning in. After the stream, I'll probably be sticking around to do some chatting on the Discord server. So in any event, I'm going to take a short few-minute break here, and I'll be back shortly. Thank you, guys. I'll be back. Thank you so much for sticking around, guys. All right, let's get back into it. So, do we have any questions? Let's have a look. Oh, my pleasure, Lucas. I hope it helped you out. Change it to for each. Alias and scripts are bad juju. Absolutely, Michael. I will do that, even though it does not matter. For each $sign SVR in all servers. Just for the type of code I've been working with, which is this runspace stuff, I've had more success running it in ISE. VS Code doesn't seem to like it. For example, I can actually switch over to VS Code right now. I'll just close all the files. So let's open them now. We are working on this one. So let's try running it. Oh, wait a second. I think I remember, but let's try. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't let's see. Craft. Yeah, no. I have to do a bit more finagling with it. Also, while we are at it, use PS item instead of yeah. Well, that's what I was just in the process of finishing. Yeah, so there you go. I replaced the for each. That should be a little better. Now, there's no trapping of errors or anything in here, Lucas. That's something you'd want to do. You know, if you hit any errors in this kind of script, it's not going to be able to handle them. You'll probably have to inspect it. So, but that's part of learning. That will toughen your fingertips, much like a Thai kickboxer and his shins. Um, let's see. Also, way up. He's as confused the piss out of me when I first started using PowerShell, and PS Item made it way more. Yeah, but you know, I think Michael is even more correct in that you shouldn't even be using the aliases at all. Just use a proper for each statement. Name your instance iterator specifically. And then you'll never really have issues. That's always, as far as I can tell, the right way to do it, and I have to agree with Michael on that. So, yeah. Let's see. Does anyone have anything, any other questions, or are we gonna go back for a bit longer and work on those runspace scripts? No, it doesn't look like it. I'll check the Discord. Okay. No, we don't. All right. We'll get rid of that. So let's try this again. We're getting our windows. Positions look good when we move them, but the craft state is not updating. Okay, so we need to inspect the run space, or let's actually take the code and let's see if we can just output it. You know, it's serious business PowerShell channel when the chat runs on PowerShell. The chat doesn't run on PowerShell. It's just some graphics. But we will do that. I promise we will do that one day. We will code some PowerShell to interact with the Twitch API and actually output it in a PowerShell window to act as the overlay for the chat in the stream. So we will do that. I promise we will do that. Let's just see if we can get this receiver code to work on its own. See what the problem is. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Just makes it a little easier to read for me. Michael, tell me if that's okay for you. I think you had mentioned having some trouble reading stuff. Try and make it a bit bigger. And how's the stream quality? If you guys can comment on that, I'd appreciate it. And I know with PS Code this would be simpler. You can highlight in ISC and Shift Tab. I can highlight in ISC and Shift Tab. Let's see what that does. That's Michael's teaching me something here. Shift Tab. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much, Michael. Perfect. Oh, look at that. You just saved me, for sure, hours of my life in the future. All right. Let's see. This thing is expecting a crafting at one point for each key and temp hash keys. No, we won't interact with the craft. So we don't need to interact with that, but then we'll do that. But we will create a results array, $results. I hope it's not named. Yeah, I don't think it's named anywhere. Results equal empty array, and we will send for each key. Okay, so we will send results equal $results plus $TMP hash dot just TMP hash. We'll add the TMP hash to the array so we can inspect the array after and make sure we're getting something, hopefully. So let me practice what Michael said. Shift. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's see. We're gonna end time. What's end time? We gotta set an end time. So end time is going to be 10 seconds. So end time equal get dash date. And then dot add seconds 10. Okay. I think this will let us test it. Or not. Okay. So we got to figure out what's going on here. Let's see. Do while true and get date less than end time. Why isn't this working? Read data. Okay, whatever. Oh, okay, there's some weird stuff here we got to get rid of. Okay. Oh, that's why. Start time and end time. Okay, I don't think we need start time. And I think this will work now. Let's have a go. Yes, okay, so this is doing something. The game should be sending data. We'll just do a quick double check. Is this thing running? Yes, it is running. Okay, so let's check results. Hopefully there's stuff in there. Did I say result or results? No, results. Ah, that sucks. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's do some output. Write dash host data detected. Oh yeah. Okay, it's detecting data. Okay. Okay. Script CLI. Script CLI. Yeah. Okay. If script CLI. Script CLI. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, we don't need to change any of that stuff. It's detecting the data. It's reading data. Okay. So it's reading data. Do this while stream position not equal to results equal. So we'll add some output here. Right dash host. I shouldn't be using right host. I am Michael. Drop a breakpoint on line 8. Okay, I'm not big on debugging with breakpoints, so okay, drop a okay. How do I drop a breakpoint? How the fuck do I do that? F9. Is it normal that it's not working? Do I have to highlight it? Oh, that's right. Good call. Okay, so temp whatever. Temp 1. Ah, there you go. Yeah. So F9. And what? Save your script and I guess just run it? Okay. So now. Yeah, now I'm lost. I don't know what to do now. So debug. Now I guess I can inspect things or I can step through. So let's see what data is, I guess. Data. What's data? Okay, I've got some data. Right. Okay. Yeah, so I was on the right path with the data, so that's good. Now how do I step through? Step F1 to step into. Okay. F11. So step $error. Clear. Okay. So F11 again. Okay. Hash table temp hash, that's fine. Now do. Byte name, that's going to be fine. Reader read. Okay, let's. No error now. Okay, reader.read. Name and length. Prop path equal. What's name? Okay. Get string. So prop path. So if I step there, then prop path should be some legible text. Nav heading. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So now, thank you so much for this, Michael. I never had anyone explain that to me. I didn't know how to use it. So that's why it's called PowerShell done poorly, you know? Uh, okay. Error clear. Yeah, error still clear. So we'll step through. The type. Let's see what the type is. Is 1. So it's a double. So it will switch to the double. Yeah. Why does it switch to? Why does it go to? Oh, okay, no. Okay, I see. Okay, so temp hash. So, uh, so the line that's highlighted in orange is the line I will step into, or the line that has already executed. Let's see. $TMP hash. To step into. Okay, so it yet to execute. Okay, so let's advance. Okay, I see what it does. It actually goes through the brackets and everything through precedence. So what is prop path? Prop path 0 nav Okay, yeah, it's joining them. That's good. Now what's the prop val? That's good. Shift F11 will just continue running as normal, or just stop the stepping. I kind of like the stepping at this point. It's letting me narrow in on things. So prop path 1. Okay, that's heading. Yeah, so that's good. All right, that's good. Okay. Wait a second. So temp hash should have some data now. Yes, it does. Perfect. Okay, so now we'll step through a bit more. Okay. Now it should have another field. Okay, no, it still has to go through and calculate those. Perfect. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So results equal results plus temp hash. Okay. So we'll go through and bang. Okay. Okay. Yes, we're definitely gonna have to rename it to Michael teaches teaches me ISC. All right, that's awesome. I learned how to debug today. So for those watching, have faith because look at the kind of code I'm working on, and I didn't even know how to debug properly. If I can do it, you can do it too. All right, so what are we gonna do now? Let's see. I mean, it looked like it was working properly, I gotta say. The data was there. Read. Okay, it reads, but okay, so I was dumping it. Okay, so I was trying to dump it like that. Well, that's right, Bwood. Debugging, I don't have to debug because I write everything. I write everything perfect the first time. I wish I'd write myself out of a job. Okay, so this is working. We just need to finish the connection. So it seems like inside the RS test, we have to pass the craft state, and we are passing the craft state. And then for each key in the temp hash, I mean, this looks fine. This looks fine. Now, the only thing is, I think I'm using the same I am. So let me change that. Inner craft. I mean, that, I'm not sure, but that could be an issue. Wait, this is in a run space pool. Yeah, it's in the run space pool. Ain't no breakpoints. Uh, so that's the only spot I think I use it. Yeah, so that's the only spot. So I just have to update. This to let me see. Where was I? Craft, inner crafts. Yeah, so I have to go here. For each key in temp hash keys. Okay, yes, that should work. So I think I don't need to add any ref statements. Let's try that. things running here? Yes, they are. Okay, so let's go ahead and close these. We don't need them. Let's see. Error while running the receiver. Okay. Okay. So let's do that. Error while running. Okay, I know what I can do here. Error while running the receiver. Okay. And then we will add $error select star. And we will also $error clear. Yes, that was an airplane. Would you like to see the airplane? There is an airplane. So the reason the airplane is here is because this is a data source for our PowerShell. We're trying to get the data off of this guy right here. Okay? That's what we're trying to do. An airplane. It's definitely an airplane right now. Full on airplane. So, yes. So let's try this again. Hopefully we'll get some more output. Okay. Let's check. There we go. Okay, so, it's the sockets. Okay. So, this could be an issue. This could definitely be an issue. So, I need to close VS Code. Just make sure that is closed. Let's see if I have any PowerShell. Ooh, okay. So I got a lot of instances of ISE. So RS test 3 is the one I really care about right now. That's the one we're working on. I'll close this sucker. We'll do a bit of cleanup. Hopefully we can unlock the UDP port, because that's what the issue is right now. Okay, that looks good. Anything else? No, it doesn't look like it. Let's get rid of the terminal just in case. And I think we're good like that. So let's get back into it. And PS console test 3, RS test. Okay. Let's try. Okay. $RS out dot receiver dot output. Oh, the receiver terminated normally. So it did receive bytes. That's fantastic, which means that it's possible our craft object outside of the run space has some state data. Let's have a look. Woohoo! Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have some data from inside Simple Rockets, a dad joke of the Monday morning. Listen, guys, this was fantastic. We succeeded in trying to accomplish what we were aiming to accomplish today. This is a wonderful day for all of mankind. For all of mankind that does things poorly, today is a victory. This day goes to you. Very fantastic, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for your help. Team effort. We got some nifty stuff going here. This will be very, very cool to work on moving forward. Some run space stuff, which is fantastic. Getting some data in and out of run spaces. We got a receiver, which takes care of handling all the UDP communications to the game. So why don't we do a bit of validation here? Okay, let's do a bit of validation. So time to run. How long are we going to run this thing for? End time equal time to run. Let's run this thing for a couple of minutes, okay? So no longer 10 seconds. We know things are working. So let's run the data dump for about 2 minutes. And that should be cool. Let's try that. Okay, let me just see time frame. Let me see. Sort by name. We need to sort this by name. So sort dash object name. Oof. I have to select name. What is it? Value? Name value sort object name? No. What the hell is it? State dot time time since launch. Okay, no, it's not updating. Okay. So okay. So we will restart just to get a clear session here. We will save. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we're gonna restart it. And there we go. We'll run this, get our windows up. Okay, that's fine. All right, it is running at 120. So state, craft.state.time since launch. It's not updating. Why isn't it updating? Why isn't it updating? Oh, wait a second. Because I'm passing an argument here. Silly me. Okay. All right, let's redo that. That was silly. So there we go. It's updating. All right, so let's do altitude above ground level. All right, so let's see if this is working. So that is in meters, my altitude above ground level. So what we will do is we will so let's say do what are we gonna do? Let's just add something at the end here. Do let's say do while true right dash host $craft.state.altitude AGL, and we will clear the screen. What's the end goal of this all? So the end goal of this all is to build. So if you look on the right here, you'll see that we have a plane ready to fly. And what we're doing right now is we built kind of like a custom object, a bunch of custom objects in PowerShell. One of them is an object that represents the data of the craft. And that object right now is being populated on the fly by a separate a run space, and the data that it is available externally to that run space. So I can spin up a bunch of other run spaces that can query that data. So I have a bunch of so for example, I can't run it right now. I'll show you in a few minutes. You'll see. But okay, so do CLS right hosted start dash sleep dash seconds 1. Okay, let me just see if things are still running here. No, things are still not running. Okay, so all right, you'll get. All right, so Peter123. I'm gonna run this. You'll see these panels. So I want to populate data inside these panels in a dynamic way. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to get the data nice and organized. So I have right now on my screen a loop running that is outputting the altitude above ground level for this plane right now, which I'm going to start to fly, and let's see if the data that's being displayed makes sense. So let's go for it. Oh, I see some modifications there. And let's, oh yeah, look at that. So that should be our meters, I think. Yep, it's a bit delayed to the game, but it's definitely working. So let's maybe level out and see if we can get a precise reading at a specific altitude. So we'll just get the landing gear in. We'll enable the heading control. Just keep it somewhat level. Okay. Okay. So, okay, this is above ground level too, eh? So we got probably a few hundred meters of ground level. Could make dashboards or something. I actually have already made dashboards. Let me see if I can find a picture of some of the dashboards I've made already for this. Give me a second, and you'll see why I've spent some time coding just form stuff. Tiger's Jaw, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me just get that picture. Ah, there we go. Let's see. Open. Copy. So. So, Capator, this is something I've already done. So you can see all the dashboards I've done on the right. Let me move this a little to over here, away from the chat. But you can see I have dashboards here. Thank you for the follow, Kepster. So yeah, I have a bunch of dashboards, and all these dashboards are kind of manually sized and placed, which I did because I mean, it was all statically done, so it was kind of easy to do. The map was also properly tracking the location of the craft on the planet. You can kind of tell that from the image right about here and here. So the equirectangular map was made that easy to do. But so now what I'm trying to do is I've managed to tie in the dynamic data part of grabbing the stuff from simple rockets. So one thing we can do to double check this is if we fly over water. So this isn't running anymore because we only give it a 2-minute time limit. But if we can find some water, we should be able to verify to a higher accuracy the actual readout. So I'll just fast forward here. We'll let that go for a bit. And I'll change my heading a bit. Get a little better. Let's get to the coast there. But yeah, the recording should be available for the next couple of weeks on Twitch. I am recording this stream as well, so it will be uploaded to the YouTube page. Please visit the links on the Twitch page for the Discord, Twitter, as well as the YouTube channels. And please subscribe or follow where you see fit. I'd really appreciate it, and I appreciate you joining us for today. So here we go. Now we're over some water. I'll put it back into regular time. Let's go and have a look here. Let's enable the logger because I have the logger on number 3 here. I have to turn that on for it to work. And let's run and see what's going on. So 39, what's this? Oh, we're going up. Okay. Oh yeah, it looks pretty spot on. Yeah, look at that. So we're getting nice clean data. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Your wish is mine. I really appreciate you hanging out. It was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it and appreciate it. It was a pleasure. So yeah, so guys, I think we accomplished what we tried to do today, which was really kind of link in the uh, the run space part to the simple rockets data output from the SR2 logger. We have that working clearly, and we also got our custom form class running as well from the same run spaces, or at least run spaces that should be able to access the data. So I think on our next stream, what we'll do is we'll start plugging in all of the different panels that we have into the various data sets that are coming out of the Simple Rockets 2 logger, which you can kind of see in this picture here. So yeah. Now I think we'll be ending the stream shortly, but if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them now. I'll take a few minutes break before following it up. Thank you so much for the follow, Furious Jason. I know a Furious Jason, but I don't think that's you. Thank you so much for that, and we'll just take a small break here. Let's see, maybe we can run something for a few minutes here. Oh, this is still going. That's probably going to go for a few more seconds. Let's see if we can output. We'll make like a simple little HUD before we end the stream today. A console HUD. Let's see what we can do. So that will be a nice way to end the stream, I think. So let's say altitude AGL, or let's just say altitude plus, and then let's say dot velocity. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so state dot velocity. Let's say surface. Velocity. Let's add a new line after that. And then we'll do this. Okay. Could a progress bar be used for... Sure, you could use a progress bar for altitude, but if you're using a progress bar, it's because you know what the posts are. You know what the bottom and the top is. Because, I mean, you know, what's your progress towards, you know? You could build rockets in this game, and it could, you know, it would be an altitude that wouldn't match that of a plane. So it's always subjective. But yes, you could, since the data is available. So we're just trying to build a simple HUD now. Let's just change the runtime back to something shorter. Gotta find it here. On the receiver, we would just want the receiver to run for a bit. So let's 10 seconds, make sure it runs quick so we can restart it a few times and just make sure our formatting looks all right. And what else could we get? Let's see what's available. Dot velocity vertical, that could be interesting. Velocity vertical. Velocity surf at surface. And we can copy this. Vertical. Pow pow, and this, and let's just see what this looks like. Let's close these. And velocity at surface is a vector, which is why we see 3 numbers there. So that is, if anyone's wondering that. But our velocity vertical is -11. And the numbers aren't updating. That's because it stopped. Oh, and my formatting is terrible there. Oh, that's not nice. Not nice. Okay, so let's do that. Add a few spaces. Okay, that should be good. That should look nicer. Then we can do the same thing over here and the same thing over here. And let's just get rid of that, and we will change the timeout on the receiver to, let's say, 5 minutes. We'll let this run for a bit. Let's run that. And there we go. And there we go. We have a little altitude countdown to death on our ill-fated F-18 Hornet look-alike, which no longer has the airspeed to maintain enough authority to keep a pitch above the horizon. So it will impact with the surface of the water soon enough. I'll give a few minutes in case anyone has some questions, but I'll be wrapping up the stream very shortly. So I'll just take a little 2-minute break and wrap up after. And that was that, folks. I hope you enjoyed the stream today. Please click follow if you like what you saw. Follow me on Twitter if you like. You can join the. You could join the